act competition they had for 2023. I enrolled into that, and so that kind of.
The man of the hour.
How's it going?
Man, sorry to have you join on a little bit later than expected. But how you doing, man?
Doing great.
I know a lot been going on with you lately.
Just a lot, actually. I mean, recovering was the biggest one, honestly. It's kind of put me in a little bit of a position to not be as further as I wanted to be. You know, I've heard that you also had your injury yourself, so.
Yeah.
But we were recovering. I'm out the sling. We good, you know.
Got me too.
Good. You know, reverse dislocation ain't nothing I would recommend. So
kind of elaborate on that. Like, what was that like for you?
Life-changing. Something that I could say that has put me in a different pivot in life with decisions, my time, and my company as well. So I've been really kind of dialing in on who it's going to be, who's with me, my team, and the people around me. And it's really just like, get it now. You know, you never know. Life's unpredictable. It's short. Life can take you out any way it wants to. So, yeah, I've learned that it's precious, definitely, to be able to be still here and meet these other new people and involved with the music industry and just creating and collaborating. And that's been the most humbling thing to me lately, because I couldn't imagine not being here and having all that I've done, been working really hard on, get this project out, and then, you know, who and what would have done it, you know? So
how did you stay mentally mentally dialed in throughout that whole process? Because I know, like, for me, it was times where the pressure kind of kicked in a little bit. I'm like, I gotta sit off. I can't do nothing. I can't even sleep the same way I want to. I can't do a lot. And I'm like, I was building up to a certain point, and I feel like this setback about to hinder me a little bit, all the progress that I've made.
And how long? What's to expect? You know, like, kind of life-altering changes is going to be continuously. You know, like, I didn't know I'd have to adapt and change my whole way of, like, working and doing, just in general, all the things that I was used to doing with two arms. And I was out for like 2.5 months in that sling, and it was just irritating, hard to sleep. And so I had to really adjust and overcome some of these obstacles that were mentally making me, like, doubt that I was going to be able to continue. And I was in I don't know if you heard, but the opening act competition they had for 2023, I enrolled into that. And so that kind of was like an opportunity I would have never actually had gotten if I wouldn't have been in that circumstance, like that unfortunate circumstance that I was in that car accident. So it was like a hidden blessing, and I took the advantage of that opportunity while being in that bed rest moment, and just, you know, looked into it, gave it some time of my own, and took it off to see what, as far as my supporters, my fans, and all those people out there that know what I've been doing and how much I've been doing it for, to kind of see where I can support that. And, you know, that kind of rebuilt my confidence, kind of helped me kind of go through this whole, you know, process of recovering. And yeah, life is crazy, man. Like, since we last did the interview part 1, we're on part 2, you know, but yeah, like 2 years from now, I would not have expected myself to be in the situations I've had come my way at all.
Yeah.
But I'm happy for him either way, you know. Like, I can't say if I would have been in that car accident and the way it happened, I wouldn't be in the mind state, I guess you could say, where it's like now or never. And the project I'm working on right now is super clever, super awesome. It's kind of got a little bit of the essence of, you know, grief and the healing. And in that, nothing short from explaining on how to really kind of go about making an enlightening stage and path for others that might also be going through the same thing. You know, we're always losing people. People never stay, people always leave. And that's something that I've had a hard time kind of accepting as a fact. But, you know, we do have people, we have real ones. We have all those people out there that, you know, support us, and they're always down from the day one. Like my twin sister, she was one, RIP. And, you know, like, there's other people around too that you'll get to meet in your endeavors in life and what you do. And you got to make sure you just tighten up that crew. You know, you got loose bolts, you got screws, you got all those kinds of parts that you need to make it smooth or make it a little bit more of a crazy ass show, you know? So you kind of just got to go with the flow. You know, like me, I've been kind of just seeing what the world will allow me to be and just tuning into the universe, learning as much as I can while I'm still here and, you know, taking the predictables and the unpredictables and just staying, you know, blessed and grateful.
Damn, that's dope. That's dope. So you said one of the things was grief and overcoming grief. That's what people can expect in your new album. What was that creation process like? Because I know that you probably had to dig deep. And like you said, it's a little bit of things that you had to learn to deal with in the process. But was it like a therapeutic session for you?
It is truly an experience that, like, to really captivate in words is very hard to put together, but at the same time, it's beautiful. And if anyone can like any way understand like the moments of being that vulnerable, to have someone reciprocate that vulnerability and relate to a whole nother level, it's beautiful, man. I can't tell you, like, it's like I'm not alone. Like, I thought after losing a twin, being a twinless twin, which it ain't like that. I'm always gonna have my twin. She's just up there, you know. But I'm not alone. I got other people with me, and we all have our own crazy stories. So, like, the booth, when I'm in there, it takes that pressure off me and gives me another perspective from another person who's also artistically able to get into that kind of zone and give me insight. You know, 'cause sometimes when you really tap into those emotions, those deep rooted stuff that puts you in a position to be who you are, can be making your voice shake and tremble. And so like I'm really kind of working on trying to like get in that connection with the producer. And shout out Cyclone in here in the live right now watching. He's actually one I've been working with really closely on this project with. And shout out Navarre as well, his studio. We've been working in there together with some collaborations from people in Utah. And we're just putting our words together, emotionally connecting, vibes all over the tracks. You know, I'm just excited to let it out. And what y'all really want to be looking for out is the title, Can You Hear Me? That's the project. That's what we got coming in play.
Okay.
We're about, I think I honestly got it down to 11 songs, and that's where I want it. And then I got, after that, a couple other projects to release kind of in a flow of steadiness. And yeah, dial in, you know, get that music video.
What was that song selection process like?
Huh?
Oh, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off, but what was it like? Like, how did you pick which ones was going to be on this project?
So that was like a process of elimination for me, because I had originally wanted to go 17 songs for the project, but 11 numbers like that, 11, they resonate with me, and I just want to manifest everything that I can do as far as giving to the world, anybody I know, as far as artists, you know, like just even fans and the people that can listen, just give them healing energy and enlightenment of just the things that I've come to perceive and find as far as hidden blessings that has come in my life that you don't really never see or come to find those hidden blessings until after the fact. And then you're more humbling and just like kind of like coming to some of those things that you're like, wow, I didn't notice, you know, that was something that kind of played a small factor, but definitely put me into that position to actually have that opportunity.
Oh, that's most definitely real. So, I mean, so you gave us a song that you recommend. What is the first song off the track?
Ooh, okay. So this one is
Did you move now?
It's Alert. It's called Alert. And
Alert.
It's ALLURE. It's kind of got like some XXXTentacion vibes, and I wanted to kind of go out of a perception of my own mind, something that doesn't really go into my life for once. You know, I kind of want to actually kind of go into someone else's, that's, if I can relate any type of hardship and just choices and stuff like that we go through, I kind of wanted to put another perception of my own and from another point of view. And so I got like tapped into a kind of emotion, and yeah, it's just like like a whole adventure. You could see throughout the lyrics that I go, and you'll see the subliminals about like where the world is, these current like energies and moods and things that are kind of behind that be like putting us in those state of mind frequencies, depression, all the stuff. Like you gotta rise above it. You gotta, vibrate out of that kind of stuff. You gotta know it's not always gonna be like that.
Nah, yeah, that's most definitely real. So, what was like your favorite part when it was coming down to making this project? Is it the you hear in the end result, or is it just like the vibe, like what you saying,
It's
like
definitely
just
the
connecting?
the connecting part, the vibe process of just dialing into that energy, the vibrato, the style, the key, how you really kind of collaborate, especially with someone else. I mean, I got in this project maybe about 4 features, I'd say, to be exact, and no more than that. I got other features on these other projects, but for that mixtape debut, it's going to be 4. And those 4 people, shout out y'all for coming to these sessions and coming through. Y'all's energy was mint, and we always continue to learn when we collaborate. So that's something that, we always take into consideration while we're artists making these kind of music kind of things to think about. But yeah, I just really kind of got moved on learning and giving also, kind of like substance, giving substance to other people to think about in their daily life. Because, we're not really taking the small things and taking it for a whole perspective of adding it to your life and giving you a little bit more fruitfulness of these things that we experience. And, just being present is what really is hard to tap into and be, happy and have those, moments where when you're not always perfect, not always, able to convey those emotions or be on your boss level shit, you can still have those days where you can at least be vulnerable. And this project completely kind of goes into that vulnerability of my, you could say, troubles. And so kind of captivates just the struggles of pain, the beauty, and the collateral damages of when you just don't come to a way of, letting it out in a way, bottling it in is not healthy. You just explode and you do something irrationally to something, to somebody, and it never really goes in a favor. To work on a positive note, yes, you could say. But yeah, it's just been a lot of trying to stay positive and remain strong, because the mind can be as strong as you need it to, but you also got to work on your. And lately, I haven't been able to do that with that injury. So I can only work on my mind and my voice. So as physical as that goes, it still goes and kind of messes with my mental, not knowing that I can physically be the way I was before the accident happened. Getting this project where it's at right now has actually kind of helped me find solace in knowing that it's not just having to be physically fit, but working on that mental aspect too, getting that equipped.
You ain't lying. Yeah. So how did you who kind of inspires you to take this journey? Like to, cause like artists, like it's a form of expression.
My twin sister, you could say, would be the origin and of my passion into it. It was like a fun twin rivalry thing we did growing up. Who, had the best skills? I started playing guitar acoustic wise, and so she ended up picking up, I believe, piano, keyboard, and I was just like, ooh, I like that too. I'm, like, I'll trade. You can like use my acoustic, I'll play your, keyboard. And we just ended up, kind of having that twin rivalry thing going about like who could do it the best, who could, and it was something that just kept me steady driven, had that ambition. It was never going to go because she was always there, always keeping me on my toes and keeping it fun too, So that's definitely where we had that, bond, that unbreakable bond that like keeps me to this day driven and goal orientated to just hit it like a bullseye. So I'm really just trying to make sure I tap into those the best way possible to also kind of give homage to those others that are also dealing with the same thing that I could possibly be dealing with, and just give shed light onto that, because grief is something I never thought could be such a worthy opponent in life.
No, that's most definitely real. That's most definitely real. So we kind of went over, what the intro is, the song you want people to hear. What's the song you excited to perform?
In the project itself,
Yeah. I mean,
so there's this one
in
song called
general.
Punching Bag. It's really good, but I
Yeah.
collaborated it. If I were to perform it, I'd have to have this girl with me to perform her part. But
Yeah.
it would be really
Yeah.
interesting to see how she also gets on stage. I'd like to see her presence and how she can, deliver what she delivered in the studio, which was beautiful. Shout out Stormy. So yeah, we did
Yeah, that's dope.
and it was a fun, awesome. Energy was just awesome. So can't wait to be able to see that energy kind of bleeds into that live audience as well when we get into that position to perform that. So,
So how did you get over the whole fear of performing?
uh, I definitely been put into positions where I've had to dance, and I like dancing. I love, this is a way to express yourself, let out the energy, and have fun, be silly, forget about the stresses and worries, and just let it all out. Like Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
shake off, you feel me? But that was one of the biggest things. I actually was back in the day tap dance, and I used to tap dance, and yeah, I had to get big stage in front of everybody,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was
You got stimulated.
definitely the yeah, it was crazy, an experience that I cannot ever forget. And my sister was also there with me during that time as well. We never really far apart growing up, so if I was doing
How do you
this, she was
think
either
your
with me
environment
or
played
just
an
vibing
impact
next
on the
to her.
project?
But
Oh, I'm sorry.
um,
I cut you off a little bit. What was the last part?
it's just basically saying like, if I wasn't there, she was there. If she was there, like we had each other's back. And if anything, if we weren't particularly in that, like I never wasn't into modeling as much as her when she was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so after she passed, I kind of wanted to implement that into myself and to kind of keep that legacy in her and knowing that like I would have never gotten into it as much as I did and
Yeah.
currently am if it wasn't for her kind of putting me on like that in a way she did. And so like, she's the biggest aspiration and inspiration in what I've done.
No, that's most definitely dope. So, as we gonna hear like the influences, like your actual environment, like where you're from, your upbringing. For those that haven't tuned into the first episode that me and you have done,
Right.
how your environment plays like a fingerprint on you and your
Yeah.
project.
And I mean, as far as that goes, like you say 2 years ago from when we had that interview
Yeah.
to now, it's different. It's like I'm not even with that same clique. RIP to MCO, he passed away. And so like SAS as a movement, what we had then kind of wasn't something that I wanted to kind of like, I wanted to go somewhere, but like, things happen, people change, things as far as people, not always going to be there and unpredictableness. Yeah, like he was definitely the glue into the SAS kind of like adventure. And so after that, and a new adventure kind of came about. I've met some other new people. We're still doing the music grind, out here in the 307, 435, Utah,
Yeah.
Wyoming, And so, I mean, I'm trying to reach different areas as well to collaborate with other artists and do bigger heights of things that like from last year that I achieved. I want to be able to, like just triple that, just keep it going. And despite even the unpredictable things of grief in the past and the people that, aren't here today, I want to not let any of that deter me from the, driven passion and emotion that I have ambition wise that like I know I have and what I believe, what I can do and what my sister also seen in me. I want to be able to, exemplify to others and show the strength of just, like we're still here, we got
Yeah.
to be thankful for that. There's a reason for me not being dead in that accident. I should have died, but we got blessed by a guardian angel, which, my twin sister, RIP, love you. Like
Yeah.
things
So
like
shout out to the
that,
'307.
don't take life for granted.
Yeah. Shout out to the '307. Do you think that it's hard or easy for like up and coming artists to make it out of the '307?
it is, especially around here. It's not very a glorified area for hip hop, and it's
Yeah.
not very much of a supported scene as I thought it would be. You know, I mean, as far as what we've done so far, we still get some support, but as far as country and all these other genres, rock and all that, you got a huge more supportive audience out here than you would have comparably to hip hop or rap by a long shot. So if any ways you make it out of here in that area, I give, my salute, my applaud, and I'm not
Yeah.
trying to make it out. I love it here, but I'm also trying to find better opportunities to get a better audience to speak to show and enlighten and uplift.
That's most definitely real. So, what been some of the challenges with reaching those outside markets?
Um, right now, it's been just taking the distractions that's been kind of helping me deal with my emotions because sometimes I'm not always with my emotions and I'm working on that. But, you know, like sometimes you want to get distracted. You go to a bar scene, you drink too many drinks, and you're not thinking about it. But that kind of mindset ain't going to get you really nowhere but regrets.
Yeah.
I mean, currently my battles have been not trying to be an alcoholic, work on being a little bit more straight on a narrow path, and continue to grow within my temple, my vessel, my body, and just ascend to another level that I would never have seen, just to fully believe myself to just evolve into what I've always dreamt of being.
No, it's real. At what point did you feel like it was time for a change on how you was coping with life?
That car accident. When I reversed dislocated that shoulder, that really was a moment of recollection that took me into a point where I